So if you collect all this, what you will end up with is, so you will have a bunch of match text here. Sorry, bunch of match text variables, values here, and what I want to do is just basically collect them. Match list, let's call this very simply match list, and I would apply or append, let's say, match text to match list, and at the end I just want to print for match in match list, print match. I just want to see all the properties. Let's assume that. Yeah, so what this code does is it goes through each line in the file, looks for a specific pattern, this one, and if we have a match, we just add the match text to the match list. And at the end, I want to print all the matches. So let's run this code. And now, as you can see, I have all the properties. So instead of having to look through 30,000, 40,000 lines of text, I can just look through properties here. All right, great. Now you can just extract specific patterns, specific items from the file. But let's say you don't want to like run the script every time you want to look at these properties. What you would want to do is just write some kind of results file. So what you could do is you could just do with open let's say logs. I'm not gonna create a new folder for results, but you could also create a new folder for results. Now you're changing the mode from reading to writing. You can see here we used read mode, now it's write mode, as f, not as. And basically what you would want to do is just go through match list and write all the match items to the result. So for item in match list, f write item, but here also you would want to add new line, otherwise it's just gonna be smashed into a single line. Let's run this one more time. You can see it created here a new file, and now I have a results file with all the properties. Now I can analyze these properties and find what I'm looking for more easily. So instead of having to look through 40,000 lines, I have a few thousand, but there's still something. It seems there are still too many lines, and the issue here is, I already know what it is. It is about having duplicated lines. So how could you remove duplicates from here? In Python you can do list set and match list. If I remember correctly, that was the code for that, to remove duplicates. Let's check the results again. How many we have now? Now only 300. So this is already reducing your manual work to very little. You just need to find the properties you're looking for. And yeah, the next part that we can discuss is, let's say I'm looking for enabled properties, ones that have this value. What could I do? How could I extract now these? Well, one thing is you could come up with a better regex pattern, but sometimes it's just harder to do that and it's not really efficient. So if you really think about this, what you could do is easily you could take this thing, copy here, call it pattern2, and let's replace this with enable match list2 pattern2, and match list2 goes here, and then I would use just match list2 here. Let's see if this works. Let's run it. What do I have? Is it really? Not sure, can't really read it properly. So what's going on? The text is too large a bit. It's not selecting too much. Okay, let's look into possible solutions here. Oh yes, I know what's the mistake. So what I forgot to do is I forgot to use, instead of using log file lines, I wanted to use the already parsed lines, only those. So let's do that. Let's run it one more time. What's the problem now? I changed something here. Let's run one more time. Now I only have enable properties. Perfect. 15 lines. I reduced this whole log file from 40,000 lines to 15 lines. How easy it is to analyze this one. Perfect. And yeah, you can see how this can reduce manual work, and yeah, how Python can be very helpful. One more thing that you probably have noticed here is that we're basically copy pasting this section. So what I would do is I would actually create a new function, and let's just copy this, and let's call new function lookup pattern or something like that, something that makes sense. And what I would do is I would have pattern here as an argument. Then I would have lines coming from somewhere, which is going to be typing list strings. So lines would go here, pattern, this one goes away, match list pattern comes from here now, line here, okay, and I would return from the function, I would return match list, but I want to return it without duplicated items, and return type would be also a list with strings. And now instead of copy pasting the code, I would use this function one time. So the first one would be pattern, this one, and lines would be log file lines, and the first one would be, let's call this properties, and it's gonna be typing list. And I forgot comma here. Let's make this pretty. All right. So we have a function, properties, and now that you have a function, you can just do properties one more time and just use a different pattern instead of using the first one. And instead of using the log file lines, you would use the first properties, and in the end you would get the same result, I believe. Let's just comment everything that was here, use use those two functions. And this is not needed anymore, and I would just do enable properties for prop enable properties, just write the property to result. Let's run this one more time. Match to list is not defined. I forgot something. Here, match list. Okay, running. Nice, we have the same results. Let's just delete the file and rerun this to make sure it works. Nice, it works. So this is how you can reduce manual work and have even multiple patterns applied multiple times, the lookup function, and extract all the information that you need from a log file. Alright, that's pretty much it. If you liked it, like the video, click the like button, click the subscribe button. You can check out my blog post, also linked in the description, to see more details where I explain more about how this regex pattern works, and you can find more useful information on this topic. Yeah, and if you need help in becoming a Python developer, found my contact details below and send me a message. We can talk about that. Maybe I will be able to help you out in becoming a Python developer. So that's it.